Hey everyone, it's your favorite player, Matt, hopping in before the episode starts to let you know that this is going to be the final episode of the little mini arc, the Lord of the Strings arc that we recorded as bonus content for all the people who helped us get to our 100 review goal. The reason I'm starting off the episode here is because it's a little bit on the shorter side, and we wanted to make sure that the immersion was not broken halfway through and just get you from start to finish with no interruptions. So again, thank you for everybody who participated in reviewing our podcast on Apple Podcasts. That helped us get to that goal to be able to release this little mini arc in the first place. It meant the world to us. Thank you so much. Another way that you can keep on supporting us is by subscribing, rating, and reviewing to wherever you get your podcasts from. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. If you listen to us on whatever podcatcher, we're obviously on it. So make sure to subscribe, rate, and review to us on those platforms. Also, please follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on Twitter at New Crits. You can find us on Instagram at New Crits on the Block. And you can find us on Facebook at New Crits on the Block. We're always posting content on there that we would love for you to share on Facebook, share on Instagram, on your stories, on your feeds. Tag us in those big Facebook posts when people ask for other alternatives to, Critical Role in the Adventure Zone. Tag us on there. Get more people involved. We want our family to grow. Speaking of growing families, we also have our Discord for New Crits on the Block. We are adding people all the time. Our little Discord family is growing pretty much by the day. We have channels in there for just general chat. We have channels in there for D&D. We have channels in there for DMs. We have channels in there for about your pets. You know what I'm trying to say. We have a little bit of something for everyone. Now you might be thinking, well, how do I even get to all these places? Well, from our link tree, of course, linktr.ee/newcrits on the block will take you to all these places I mentioned, plus some that I didn't have time to. linktr.ee/newcrits on the block is your central hub for all things New Crits. Now, let's get you into this week's episode. Again, it is the culmination of the Lord of the Strings mini arc that we have. Thank you everyone for your support so far. We were so happy to do this. We're so happy to give this arc to you from our hearts, and we really hope you enjoy it. Obviously, next week we'll kick back into the regular story where we left off, but for now, enjoy episode 4 of Lord of the Strings.
Previously on New Crits on the Block.
The goblins, I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. I don't even know how many in there. Go in there, convince them you're one of them, walk around, get a lay of the land. You can take something if you want to, but please don't fucking get caught.
Okay, perfect. So there's probably hundreds of creatures in there. I don't know how many. I couldn't count, but it's huge.
On some of my travels, I've learned how to make explosive devices.
You get up to the top and you start to set the bomb, I guess.
So I'm just kind of just discreetly placing it down.
Time's up, motherfuckers.
Nez, as you set the bomb, you see the sand going way faster than you thought, as it is almost done, as it really only leaves enough time for you to sprint
Okay.
out. I'm assuming that's what you're going to do.
I'm just going to book it down.
Yeah. Okay, so you book it off of this little platform and just start running back up to where the rest of the party is. And as you get about halfway up, you just hear this loud as you see a crack going up all the way on this pillar as it reaches the top, as the whole pillar starts to fall apart. And then that little tiny hole that you saw on the top starts to become a really big hole, and it starts to almost follow you. And as you're running up this little stairwell up to the top of everybody else, what do you say when you hit the rest of your party?
Run, 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 run!
Yeah, as soon as that explosion goes off,
we're booking it.
I would have been waiting for Nez to come up, and then I would start running back.
Yeah.
Time to go.
So as you guys are running, you go back through the sleeping area as you see these goblins are like getting up and starting to rise. What do you do?
Me?
What do you? Anyone? What does anyone do?
I think we're on our, like getting the fuck out of there.
Are we going to be able to get past them?
Some of them are like kind of trying to like stop, but they're still they're kind of like a dazed, confused kind of thing where they just heard a loud explosion. They don't know what's going on, and they just see 4 people sprinting at them. So like they don't have weapons on them. They're just kind of like, stop.
I'm gonna while running forward, I'll start pulling arrows and just laying down a barrage in front of us to try to clear a path out.
Nez, as you're running, you see a chest just off to your right of just gold.
Whoa. Guys, keep going. I forgot my dagger. Hold on.
That's what you do. I'm gonna dart over
You
to
can't.
go get it.
We don't have time for this. We
And
gotta
I'm
go.
just gonna start
Nez,
grabbing and
what do
putting
you-
as many
no,
things as
we
my.
have to stop.
I know, but you said I needed to get a thing. I got it. Just go.
No, I'm gonna start trying to pull.
Come on,
you.
pureblood. And I grab the back of Aewyn's cloak and I start pulling him.
And he yanks you out of the room as you see these other goblins like see.
I'm gonna
Nez.
be pulling. I'm gonna be shooting arrows at the goblins trying to get Nez.
Okay, yeah, and you're hitting them, and they're just at this point you're just getting yanked behind, and you're shooting them as Nez just as the goblins just kind of take over Nez a little bit, and they're on top of her.
No, it's mine. It's mine.
Yeah, and you see them all also trying to grab. There now, she's just in a jumble of a bunch of other goblins trying to get gold, as everyone's just fanatically.
She made her
rushing.
choice. We gotta go.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be fighting back against Reaver, but I think he has the momentum pulling me.
Yeah. And you pull away as you see Nez just kind of get into this jumble of a bunch of other people trying to steal gold now. As you continue on without her, you keep going, you pass the trap, and you see the entrance. At this point now, the cave is like falling on top of you almost, and you notice that you are gonna barely get out. As you see to your right, hobgoblins are running behind, like on that left. You guys like get to the exit, and you see hobgoblins running alongside of you, right next to you, and you can see that they're trying to try to stop you before you get to the exit.
All right, so I see these hobgoblins, and I'm gonna kind of like take a very split second and realizing that there's no way we're all gonna make it out of here alive if these hobgoblins get to us. So I'm going to, like, as they're still running, stop for a quick second. I'm gonna cast Call of the Wave, and it's basically it says I know the shape water cantrip. You can cast, create, or destroy water once per long rest, and it's a con is your spell casting ability, whatever that means. And basically, I'm going to use the water to kind of like push them and kind of coast them out faster than they would be able to run.
Okay.
And
Wait, you're pushing us?
you, yes.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I'm
You're
pushing
surfing,
you
dude.
guys out, and then I'm
We're
going
hanging
to.
10.
Yeah, and because I want you guys to feel what it's like to shred the gnar. Yeah, so I cast that wave, and as I cast it to him, I'm hoping Aewyn makes eye contact with me,
I would look and say, "What are you doing?"
and I say, "Cowabunga, dude!" And I just hang loose him with the shaka,
I'm gonna again fight. I'm gonna turn around and go back and try to go get
and I'm just
the
gonna
counter waves.
turn and run.
I mean,
to
I lose grip of Aewyn as he does this, but we also get hit with a gigantic wall of water.
Yeah.
You get hit with this wave as you get pushed out. As the final thing you see,
Because my hand's reaching out for Makana waves.
You
to
see
try to grab
Makana
him.
wave. All he does is shocka you as you know what tunnel he's running into. As you get pushed out of the cave of mouth, as you see all these hobgoblins running, as you just hear this loud, as the wall just comes crushing down in front of you, as the hobgoblins all get crushed by a bunch of rocks, and you and Reaver are.
And through one little crack in the rock, he hears, "All right, all right, all right."
And then you just hear a jam session start inside.
Yes.
The acoustics in this cave, man.
It's you, Aewyn, and Reaver just soaked, standing outside as you can see the clouds above you it just starts to become a downpour on top of you too.
I'm gonna push him with both my hands.
Take it easy, pure blood.
Yeah, 2 hands. What? We could have saved them.
How the hell did you expect to save the goblin?
We could have gone back. We could have fought them off.
I look over at the collapsed cave, which is now like the whole mountain has pretty much collapsed now.
it's just a mountain of rubble.
No, I don't think we could have.
We might have been able to grab them and get them out. We could have gone fast enough.
I think we went as fast as we could. Look, they weren't even part of the mission anyway.
You didn't even try.
What would you have me do?
Try. We could have gotten maybe one of them.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You say so, pure blood. You say so. Listen, I think we're just about done here. Mission's over. You should be proud of yourself.
I'm not.
No?
No. What was the point of all that?
Point was to complete the mission. Kill the goblins and save the town. Big hero. Save the day.
I don't want to be a hero.
No?
No.
Reaver, he has that nice cloak, right? I talked about that's all buckles and all over it. He starts to undo some of the buckles on his cloak to start to take it off. And he takes his cloak off, and underneath his cloak he has his breastplate on that I told you we use for armor. And he takes his cloak and he tosses it into some nearby bushes. And he turns and he faces Aewyn. And on the breastplate is his house symbol. The symbol that is from Ivelios. And he goes,
I think we're just about done pretending here, pure blood. Big hero.
and he taps on his breastplate with his bow. And he just goes,
Why'd you do it?
Why'd I do what?
Really? You don't... You're just gonna play dumb still. First of all, why are you still using your name?
No one even knows about our kingdom. It doesn't matter. What's the point?
I know about our kingdom, and I know who you are.
You're the first person I've met in a year that has had any knowledge of this. Who are you? And what do you know?
You know who I am. I'm Reaver. Why'd you kill the king?
Aewyn is going to, in one quick motion, draw his blade and go for an overhead strike on Reaver.
and he just sidesteps it. He just leans. I mean, you get close. It skims off of his breastplate, and you actually scratch the emblem.
And another, like, heavy, clumsy swipe.
Yeah,
Aewyn,
he
again
jumps.
is going to come back at you.
He jumps back.
Okay.
To be out of range. And he looks down at the breastplate, and big scratch across your house symbol.
You just can't stop, can you?
Who are you?
Told you. I'm Reaver.
I don't know Ariva. Who are you? Who sent you?
Who do you think sent me?
I don't know.
Well, your father didn't send me because you killed him.
So you're part of the guard then?
No.
So who was it?
You know, the thing is that when you kill someone, sometimes their family,
And I gesture at Aewyn, like, sarcastically.
is offended. You know anyone who's maybe mad that you might have killed their, I don't know, brother?
The only one I could think of is... And he's going to hold his sword up again and take a sort of a few steps forward, shaking. Just forget I was here, all right? Just none of this has to happen. Just let me go. I won't be a problem to anyone. I don't want any of this.
Yeah, I don't think that's how this is gonna go.
Gold? Is that what you want? I could tell you where the secret stash is of my kingdom. I could tell you the secrets of all of it. You could have it.
Oh,
Give me yours.
I'm already gonna have it, pure blood. Listen, you wanna know a little secret? You wanna know my real name?
Yes.
I don't have one. I never did. I didn't have any of this. Look at you and your fancy clothes and your soft hands, your soft skin. You've never had to work for a thing in your life.
That's not true.
Not a thing. Tell me, what's the first thing you remember?
With his shaking arm, he's going to lower his sword as he just has a 1,000-yard stare and looks down. I remember simplicity.
Oh, simplicity, easy, an easy life.
It had its difficult moments.
You know the first thing I remember? The first thing. My first memory of my existence. Digging through the trash and eating a dead rat. It wouldn't stop staring at me!
Sounds like that's more of an issue with my father. You should be thankful he's gone. He was an evil, evil man.
I'm not from Avelios. I'm a half-elf. Your aunt found me, and she promised me a life, a nice life, amongst my people. Kinda.
And I gesture at myself and Aewyn.
And all I had to do was find you and kill you. And I've killed people for much less. And then she told me what you did. That you threw away everything. That you had everything. You were gonna be king. You didn't have to do anything but sit down, shut up, and eat your nice food and wear your nice clothes, and for some fucking reason you couldn't do it. And meanwhile, my whole fucking life has just been dirt and trash. Well, you know what? I may have been born into the trash, but I ain't gonna fucking die in it.
Aewyn is going to... You're going to see him steel himself a bit, accepting what is going to happen here, and he's going to twirl his sword and put it back in his sheath and unclip the small string holding his cloak together over his collarbone. And as it lets go, it flutters in the wind and flies away. And Aewyn's going to look up out of the side of his eye at Reaver and say, "Well then?" And he's going to stand sideways and get into position. "Come. Do what it is you came here to do."
Reaver pulls an arrow and fires it at him.
Aewyn is going to duck quickly out of the way and start running towards Reaver to close the distance.
Reaver is going to pull out his blade, and he pulls another blade. He charges back at him, and they clash together. They do the classic swords clashing and faces side to side. And at this point, I'd like to point out that, he took his hood off. So at this point, he no longer has his face covered, which this whole time he mostly has. And his hair, which was normally pulled back and slicked backwards and was kind of like clean, has now gotten wet and messy. And now it's down on the side of his face. It's more like it's been parted, and he's looking kind of crazy now.
Unhinged?
A little bit. Actually, let me rephrase that. Very. He's looking very unhinged. Ever since he's talked about the rat thing, he got real tense.
Okay.
And they clash together.
Yeah, you're gonna kill me just like you killed your father?
Let me go. Please, it doesn't have to end this way.
Oh yeah? How about this? I let you go and I go find your brother and then I kill him.
So when you mention my brother, I'm going to push you back with
There you
all
go,
the
pure
strength
blood.
I have, and again, come barreling towards you with a very heavy, not sure-footed strike, which is more passion-filled than technique-filled.
As I run backwards, I pull a knife and I throw it at him like a throwing knife.
I'm going to see that coming and raise my blade to deflect it up. But doing so takes my attention off of Reaver for just a split second.
And as that happens, I duck into the shadows and behind a tree somewhere.
As my gaze comes back down, I start looking around feverishly. Don't speak of my brother. Where are you? Come out.
You can find me, pure blood.
And at that time, as he's doing this, I, as a battle master, have an artisan kit. And I picked up the poisoner's kit. And I began applying poison to my arrows.
So as you're doing that, I'm going to bend down to the ground and start seeing if I can pick up some tracks.
Yeah, do a survival check.
It's not great. It's a 10 plus force of 14.
14?
So I can see the kind of direction
well,
he's in.
With the rain and mud, I think it would actually be a lot easier to see the foot tracks. So you can see them. It leads. You are a little bit skeptical of just following straight for these footsteps. You can see that he went to a tree about 20 paces to your like northeast.
Yeah, I wasn't going to just blindly
Yeah.
follow the tracks. I wanted a idea of where he went.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep that in my sight, that portion of the trees, and start arcing in a half circle around it, keeping my gaze right there. And again, my sword still a little bit shaking in my hand as my eyes dart from side to side, trying to pick up on any movement or shadows that I can see.
I pop out and fire an arrow.
Okay, does this one hit me?
Roll.
Because I wouldn't be expecting it.
Nope.
No, yeah, it flies to your right as you now have a location, a pinpoint location on where he's at.
Okay, I'm going to toss my sword up in the air while wrapping around my body with my other hand, pulling my bow and my arrow and firing a shot at Reaver.
Okay.
And then after I fire that shot, I'm going to catch the sword in my hand and charge towards him again.
Okay. Just make a roll for your attack.
Also a 5.
Both rolled fives.
Okay, well,
You know what?
Yeah,
I
this
built
works.
him to be like you, so...
So you miss, but you catch your sword and you start sprinting.
I like the idea that both the arrows at the same time kind of like whiz by our heads, and
Yeah.
we both duck out of the way in opposite, directions.
and you start sprinting towards him. Reaver, as you like you hit behind the tree for a second, as you kind of take a look around, you see Aewyn on you. Essentially, he is there, ready to swing.
As he goes to swing at me, I close the distance because he has his sword up in the air. So I step in to get as close as I can to him to not give him the leverage to swing, and I grapple him.
You just hit him right in his chest. You pick him up and just drop him onto the ground as you both wrestle
I dip him into the mud.
rain.
Yeah. And as I dip him into the mud, and I'm on top of him, and I'm trying to actually push him into the mud, to drown him into the mud.
This doesn't actually seem any different than my normal day. Just digging through the muck.
My hands are furiously trying to find purchase on Reaver's body, trying to get leverage to push or pull or something that will help me stop him from pushing me back.
So as you're doing that, you're struggling. Your face is inside the mud. You try to grab him from your back, and then you grab something. It's metallic. It's sharp. You grab Reaver's knife.
And I'm going to make a swipe upwards and try to drive it into wherever I can land.
and you hit him right in his chest. You not knowing, but you hit him right in the chest. Ah! As you feel his strength of pushing you down lessen.
I roll off of him and roll to the side and reach over and grab the knife that's in my side. Is this a mortal wound?
It's buried deep inside of you, definitely. Like you killing a lot of people, you feel that it's like in like your mid ribs, and it most likely punctured your lungs.
Oh, this is a bad one.
Yeah.
Okay. And I go to grab it, and I kind of gently go to move it to see where it is. Good hit. Pure blood. And I let go of it, and I leave it there, knowing that if I take it out, I'm going to die immediately. But if I leave it in, I at least have a few more seconds. And as that happens, I reach back real shaky, and I pull one of my arrows out of my quiver, and I hold up that compound bow, and I'm getting weak. And I pull back on it, and I just go, hold still. And I attempt to fire an arrow towards him.
We're still pretty close, right?
Yeah.
So I think Aewyn is going to be on the ground, catching his breath after being almost choked to death and drowned, sort of gathering his own strength and mental state as more of a self-preservation moment than hearing or paying any attention to what Reaver is doing behind him. So he's gasping and trying to breathe, sort of hands on his hips, and when he hears Reaver speaking, he can hear that sound that he's heard 1,000 times before, that creaking of a taut bowstring being pulled back. And I'm taking one breath to wait till I hear the movement of wood on skin, which is that slight moment of him releasing the arrow. And as I hear that release, I'm going to roll backwards, hearing the arrow whistle over my head, reaching back, grabbing the knife that I dug into his chest, and just pulling it out.
And he falls backwards. And he's actually trying to take his hand and dig it into the wound in an attempt to actually plug the hole, but he can't get it through the breastplate that he has. And so as this is happening, he's feeling it getting harder and harder to breathe. I'm lying on my back in the mud with bleeding out of my side, trying to find the hole as the breastplate I have, which is muddy, the rain is falling on it, cleaning the mud off of it, exposing his house symbol with the huge cut that he made through it.
I'm going to crawl over to you as I see that you are slowly bleeding out, and look at the buckle of the breastplate, and I'm going to undo it, and I'm going to take it off of you and throw it to the side.
You just can't let me have anything, can you?
You don't deserve to wear that. It was never yours, and it will never be yours.
Oh, now you care.
I'm going to stand up over his gasping body and walk away. Just leave.
I may have been born into the trash, Aewyn. But you always were garbage.
I'm going to turn, pull an arrow, and fire it at his body.
And you're alone.